welcome back to the Square Roundtable Podcast. I'm your host, Dmitri, and this is my co-host.
What it do? What it do? It's Marky Mark.
And the Square
Know that
Roundtable
lag.
Podcast without Marcus lagging a little bit. That's how this
I
works.
I'm just convinced that at this point my laptop is telling me, hey, it's time to upgrade. I'll probably have to get a new one soon. That's all it
Hey
is.
man, it's been what, four good years on the
Man,
recording?
what? And then I
So
done had this laptop since college, so that was like 6
geez,
years.
it's time for an
That
upgrade.
was
It's a
6 years ago,
decade.
yeah. So
It's
yeah,
a decade-old laptop, man. We keep trucking though. That's how we
yeah.
do here.
It's time. It's time.
It's time. But today we're going to talk about a great movie. One that's our childhoods and one that we still to this day love to watch back and back or back and forth. Oh man, that's tiredness is getting me. All right, that made sense.
Yeah,
I'm going to say it made sense. All right.
it did. Hey, it made sense to me. That's all that matters.
Thank you. The movie in question is the Goofy movie, which recently has its 30th anniversary this year.
It's
What better way
turned
to
30.
exactly? What better way to round that out for us to have a podcast about it? Being that we're fans of the brand, I know you're in spirit with your power line stuff, but you got your Disney going on, so you're here. It's
Look,
okay.
I know the dance just a little bit.
Just a little bit, just a tiny bit. But I wanted to share how dedicated I am to this. Look, you got this
The vinyl.
Goofy movie vinyl. Look at that.
The
Look at that
vinyl.
press thing. And then we look at the back. It's got all the good stuff on it, all the memorable stuff on it. Iconic scene on the front.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. We true fans over here. This ain't just no, oh yeah, it was a fever dream. And nah, man, we dedicated to this movie. It's so crazy because going back and looking at it 30 years and how impactful it has been, like a character who nobody took serious either. Came like this like phenomenal thing in like our culture and our upbringing to the
Yeah.
point that it stuck with us for 30 freaking years. I remember going to the movies to see it. And just like Demetrius, I'm an artist and I just was glad that I could do stuff like this when I got older. I had to show off a little bit too deep.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yours top mine, but I did this like last year. So, this shows the dedication.
Man.
It's
Oh,
gonna
the
blur out a
blurry, the
little bit,
blurry
but
guy. Oh, there we go. There we
yeah,
go. I see it.
yeah.
That is
So
amazing.
yeah. So
The OG, the goat.
it just shows that till this day it's still a part of our lives. And I just bought I was in Barnes and Noble on my birthday and I found the DVD and it's in the case and it looks like the VHS because the box is white. Back when they used to put
Yeah.
thought into DVD cases. But
I
yeah, so
want to. I want to say that I had it. I know I had the Extremely Goofy movie on VHS, but I swear that I had the Goofy
I
movie
think
on
we
VHS. I feel like that's where I first saw it was because I got it
yeah.
from the store. Because I saw it in the store, and I was like, I want that, and so I got both of them, or at least one of them at one time,
Yeah,
and I watched it.
I think we had it. I think we had a Goofy movie on VHS because yeah, we did because I remember the
Mm-hmm.
little song that played before the movie,
Oh
and then
yeah,
remember the little commercial like thing they had on every VHS with the little
yeah.
brother and the big brother, and they getting ready to
Mm-hmm.
go to Disneyland, and he got the suitcase and he dragging it. He's yeah. So this is what you got to do, and I was like, kid, you like 1 year older than him, but that's how you felt back then as
Yeah.
the big brother. Had to get ready for Disney World. So yeah, man, I got a question though to start us off.
Okay. All right.
So I'm pretty sure, like me, your intro into Goofy and Max was the same. But just to see if you remember, what was your introduction to these characters when you was growing up before it was even a Goofy movie? Let's see if you can remember.
That's a hard one because I'm trying to remember.
I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
It's the 90s. It's Saturday mornings. This is the time when they running like the reruns of shows, the new show, DuckTales, Tailspin, Chip and Dale, stuff like that. And there's one show about a dad and his son. and that's why we got this movie.
It's on the tip of my tongue. I know what you're talking about. Jeez, I can't think of the name of it, but I do know. I know it. I swear, I just can't think of the name of it right now. Jeez,
It's gonna come to you.
it's gonna bug me. It's gonna bug me. I can't
It's
think
a
of.
goof troop.
Yes. There it is.
Cause it's a
I,
goof troop.
I, yes, I know the song.
Yeah, I know
I
you
knew
remember the
everything.
song.
I do, but I couldn't think of the name. It was on the tip of my tongue. I was like, I
Dude,
could.
it's doesn't it trip you out that 30 something years ago we was watching a show like that,
Mm-hmm.
and then they make a movie in relation to the show with those characters, showing how he grew up in the relationship of the separation that we all had with our parents at some point in time. Because
Yeah.
even though it was like father son, whether you was in a single parent household with either a mother with your mom or your dad, or your parents might have split, or they was parents together, we all had that moment in our life where it seemed like we drifted from our parents because we thought we were becoming like cool teenagers,
Oh
and
yeah.
we were
Yeah.
growing up and getting ready to go off to high school or college. It happens. But at the time, most of us, especially millennials, half of us were kind of in that middle ground. Like we were still transitioning we weren't even teenagers yet. So we was like, oh man, is this what it's like when you're a teenager? Like your parents get on your nerves and you don't want to, they're not cool anymore. So it's just crazy that it went from like the show where it's like the Max and Goofy together doing stuff. They got this good relationship to a movie where it's oh man, like they got a like rocky place. But it just
Mm-hmm.
shows like the test of time how this movie has like shaped and started
Yeah.
this whole culture.
And the thing is, like the way the Goofy movie and the relationship, when you look at like Goofy and Max's relationship as a kid, you can see Max's perspective a lot during the
Mm-hmm.
thing. But when you get as like adults, like me and you now,
Man, you
I'm
feel
like,
for Goofy.
I'm like Max, just spend some time with your pops, man.
Cause I'm like, I get it. He's goofy. He goofy. His name is a testament to his character. He goofy as hell,
Hundred
but you
percent.
know, don't mean
He's
no harm.
trying.
Yeah,
He's
he's a
trying
single
to be
dad.
there. Yeah.
He's a single dad working in a department store taking photographs of kids. So he probably ain't getting paid that much. He raising you. He's sending you to college. He got you through school and stuff all by himself. Or
Yeah.
we don't know exactly what happened to his mom, but as far as we know, for a good
She's
minute he's
not
doing it.
her.
Yeah.
She's not around.
I'm like, give him a break. He just wanna go fishing.
Just
He
want
ends
to
up
bond.
he ends up getting himself into a bunch of crap, telling a terrible lie. It's like the
Mm-hmm.
worst lie you can tell somebody, and you got to live up to it now. But it worked out in the end for him. But still, it was like, dude,
Yeah.
you dug that hole real deep fast, buddy.
For no reason. You didn't even have to do all that. Like you could
Because
have.
she said it in. She liked him from the beginning, so you could have
Yeah.
just said, "Hey, I'm not gonna make it. I'm going on a trip." But that's what makes a
But
good movie.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's what made the movie. That's what the because of that we get one of the best like moments in film and a Disney film with the power line theme at the end. But I just want to backtrack a little bit
Okay.
and go to like the beginning of the film because I thought it was like really important how they set it up and how overly dramatic it was about the path Max was going on and how the
Yeah.
principal was like, he going I was like, dude, all he did was like crash the pep rally or whatever you was having, and you talking about he gonna get the electric chair. I'm like, that's drastic,
Yeah.
ain't it?
That he said the way that his behavior is going to lead him straight to the chair. I'm like,
I was like,
to be
dude,
honest, he made your pep rally even better. All the kids
exactly.
were paying attention and were having a good time and were full of pep. He did y'all a service.
Man, a big one. And then it was like, I bro, rewatching it recently, I found so many little like nuggets and stuff. So I never noticed this. In the principal's office, he has the little paddles like they use in the fraternities and
Oh
stuff
yeah.
hung on his
Mhm.
wall, bro. Why on like one of them is spikes on it, like metal
Oh my
spikes.
word!
You go back now, you go back and watch it, pay attention to that. And I was like, yo, this dude
This dude
got some
awesome.
dark secrets.
He got some things that he do.
But
Oh,
yeah,
and then
man.
also there was a 'cause I was watching a video about secrets in the when you pay attention, and during the scene where they're all like driving on the road, you can see the lady that they meet later on with her
Yep, her
husband.
husband. Yes, it's
Yeah,
crazy. I was gonna bring that up. So to match that, also is another Easter egg on that on the road sequence when they sing. It's a very famous singer that's in the movie, but they don't say he in the movie. Remember when the
hmm.
limo goes by and you see the glove waving and it's sparkling?
Yeah, yeah.
And Michael Jackson was in the movie. That's Michael
Oh, that
Jackson.
was his cameo.
Because Michael Jackson was like a big Disney fan and stuff because he like Peter
Oh
Pan and
yeah,
stuff. So that was like everybody was always saying, "Oh, that's like their way of having Michael
like
Jackson
having him be a
in the
part of
movie."
it
Because it's definitely him. Because there's only one person who would have
with
the
white
sparkling glove.
sparkly.
Yeah.
Yeah, the glove. Yeah,
So that
that.
whole sequence was interesting though. Did you ever notice when you got older? Did you ever notice one of the cars when they're driving in front of them, the trunk opens and it's a dude in there with the cement on his cement blocks on his feet and he tied up in the trunk.
No, no.
Go back and watch it. I'm like, bro,
I'm
it's
definitely
all.
going to.
I was like, it's because you so enthralled in like the song, you
Hmm.
don't really pay attention. But I was like, this time when I was watching, I was like, I'm gonna try to pay attention to like as much as I can to see what I can dig out. And I was like, dude, I didn't notice that. Even like with the thing you said with the husband and the wife who was the singer at the end, I was like, bro, it's so much stuff you miss because every time you watch it, it's like a nostalgic trip, so you don't really pay attention. But yeah,
But that's the crazy thing about a good movie is like it's got so many little like Easter eggs and things that each time you watch you see a different perspective or
mm,
something you missed the first time. And I feel like they wrote the movie for parents and also for kids. So that when they grow up and you become a parent, you're like, oh, I see like what
yeah,
Goofy was doing.
they were real clever with the way they mapped this movie out and how they set it up.
Hmm.
I think honestly, I think they did it intentionally and unintentionally because they probably wasn't thinking it was gonna be so impactful. But if you watch the documentary that just came out, they also was very dedicated to it because it's like we want to make this movie because it's one of those films that they just throw the person that because they don't think it's gonna be that big,
Yeah.
and they really put their all into it, thinking, mapping out the story, trying to build those moments. Like he broke down the scene with Goofy and Max after they at the little possum world, and they in the
Hmm.
car with the suit with the
Oh yeah,
dad
the
suit,
alphabet
high
soup.
dad suit, yeah, high dad suit,
Yeah.
and I was like. The way he broke the scene down and how he wanted it to play out, I was like, they really were trying to hit those key notes of those very emotional moments. And they did it so well because it's like it is a goofy movie. And when you think of Goofy, he's like the comedic, clumsy, like dopey character. So a lot of people they probably had to like really bet on this movie to do what it was supposed to do because everybody's gonna think, oh, it's goofy, it's a comedy. They really hit those emotional marks, and it didn't get like too. Oh man, this is one of those movies. No, it was like a nice balance throughout. And it, every time it seemed him and Max would find that ground where they started to bond, it'd be that
Mm.
little rip or tear of trust that they were still trying to get to mend together. And it just worked so well.
And I
It's
oh,
go ahead.
sorry, I was waiting
No,
for you
no,
to
no.
finish.
No, I was rolling it to you actually, because that's all I had right there.
Oh, I was just gonna say I love that they found a balance in the tones, and also I like that Goofy believed in his son, even when Pete was telling him, "Your son's leading you
Mm-hmm.
down this path." And there was that
Oh,
moment
Pete.
where the road splits, and he's like hoping that Max like really stays on path
Man.
and doesn't let him down. And that scene is just emotional because you're like, you want Goofy, you know what's gonna happen, but you don't want Goofy to get hurt by it.
And then to see Goofy mad, like we've never seen
Yeah,
Goofy like mad ever, because he's such a like happy go. jolly character. So I was like, man, he really did it. If he made Goofy like
He
pissed,
made
so
the Goofy mad. He made Goofy mad. He must have really done something.
so another thing, I know you can attest to this. We always talk about it. Of course, the voice actors, great cast. It was on point. But let's talk about a star of the movie, but not a star of the movie. He's like the background star, but he's the actual star in the universe.
Yeah.
Powerline, who's become so big that when you see us with these shirts and drawings and posters, you would think this was like an actual artist back then, but it's an
Right.
animated character. But it was brought to life by animators, the choreographer who did the behind the scenes stuff, the match the dance scenes, and then a singer who was up and coming back then, Tevin Campbell, who when I was young, I didn't even know that was the same person who sung "Can We Talk." Like I never put it together till I got a
Never
little
put it.
older.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's like when you think about it, dang, that like how crazy was that they thought put that together, because you would have never thought that's who they would have got. You thought it would have been somebody like Bobby Brown or somebody, because that's who they based them off. It was like Bobby Brown, Prince, Michael Jackson, and one, which it worked very well. That was
It
a great
worked very
mix.
well. Yeah. Like he's such a big part of that movie, even though he's like more or less the like goal for Max and stuff like that, and his
Mm-hmm.
relationship or starting his relationship. People I've seen online are like, when's that album dropping? Because like he's
I'm
such just
telling you,
like
bro.
he's that song like was so good that people wanted to hear a whole album of Powerline.
A power line. Yeah, instead of the two songs, all we got is Stand Out and Eye to Eye. We need some more, Tevin. Tell Disney to cut you that check and give us a whole power line album. And we go look, we're gonna be in the record stores, in the Barnes and
Right?
Nobles, and we're gonna be doing this. Take my money. Shut up,
I'll
my
get
money.
on vinyl, man.
You
You
know what I'm
know?
saying? Spin it on the vinyl, on the wax. But yeah,
Right.
man. What else? What else was I gonna say? I'm drifting a little bit. But
That's all good, man.
oh yeah, it's late. It's been a long week, but we fighting
It's a
through it
long week.
today.
It's only Wednesday. It's been a long week though.
Exactly. It has been 30 years. You got to work with us.
Wrapped it right around, brought it all the way back around there.
Oh man, but yeah, man. So like we were saying, like with power, you got Powerline. Of course, you got memorable characters like Roxanne as the like crush. Typical. That was like the typical '90s like kind of
Yep.
girl. You could definitely tell they based off a lot of like characters from like TV shows and stuff. Then like she had the like whole vibe. Who else? Of course, the principal. We talking about the principal, Pete, with his conniving
He,
ass. Like he always been like that. Even in Goof Troop, he was like that.
he
So
was,
his
yeah.
character just was the same. And then his son, Petey, Max's best friend. Mickey and Donald Duck made a cameo on the road.
Oh yeah,
Remember? They was
yeah,
like hitchhikers. And that
yeah.
was interesting because I was like, I wonder if they were supposed to like be in the movie, but Disney probably was like, no, we're not putting Mickey in the movie because Mickey
I
is too big
wonder.
for He might have
I,
stole the spotlight though. It might have been smart not to do
yeah, I think if you put like Mickey in there, he would the focus would have went away from Goofy, and you really wanted Goofy to have his own like story and his own. No, story's right. Story's good. I was gonna say
Yeah,
something else, but story
yeah.
captures it
Story
all.
is definitely, it definitely.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
will, I will say this, and we can say this, and this is, it has been. I won't even say it's been a proven fact, but it's just a thing it's written, and we all know that this is a black movie.
Oh yeah,
Goof,
100%.
a
Especially,
Goofy
yeah,
movie is for our community, and they unintentionally made it like that and didn't even know. Even in the documentary, he's like, I did not realize how like big it was in the African American community. But when I look at it, it's soaked all in that with the culture and the way the movie was. And I'm like, yeah, because it's the '90s. It's a lot of like hip hop things, just the way
Mm-hmm.
they were dressing, music, just the style, the words they use. And it's all from us. So that's another reason why we relate to it, and so many people have carried it on with them and passed it down to their kids. To the fact that a whole mockumentary was made about it in Atlanta, and we
Yeah.
talked about that on our podcast back in past podcasts. And if y'all want to go check that out, we'll definitely put it in the description below so you can see our little breakdown of that. But yeah, man, it's just crazy how it's really been like put more in our culture than the whole like Disney animated movies. But it's really up there like with the top like animated movies of the 90s. And you
100%.
can even argue like of all of them. And
Yeah.
it's not it's I don't really say it's a cult classic, because when you say cult classic, it's always like a movie that people didn't realize was good until they watched it later. Like when it came out, it was good. Like
Yeah, people loved it on arrival.
yeah, it was a class. I think the only thing that probably made it not be as big is that it came like a year after Lion King, so it's like
Yeah.
follow up, but still it did like really good. You know that it just shows that a testament of its time. 30 years later, it's still one of our favorite movies. We'll watch it over and over again. We'll sing the songs. I didn't realize that I love Open Road so much. I had
Oh,
eyes up there, but I was like, Open Road
oh,
is a hit too.
they all hits, honestly. Every little song in there is a hit. Even the starting one when he's like going to school or whatever. That's it. But I will say
Oh,
one thing: people do not. I definitely don't hear a lot of people like really liking extremely goofy movie, like the I guess
and
like
I did.
unofficial sequel, and it's a good movie. It's
Yeah,
actually really good. I like it.
I
I
mean,
remember watching it back to back on VHS. I burnt that thing out because I
man,
loved that
what?
movie.
Man,
Because seeing
what?
Goofy in extreme sports, man,
And
and
it
and
was
then
realistic.
him and his romance with the librarian. Like I was like, all right, Goofy, I didn't know you got moves like that.
Goofy came up in there smooth, man. I was like,
He
okay,
did.
okay. Goofy redeeming himself in this second movie. Then it was like, it's a realistic story. It's
Mm-hmm.
about going to college, and it just so happened that your dad enrolled with you because he wanted to
It's
go back because he got fired from his job. So it's like, what
he
else was
got
he
it.
gonna
And
do?
what are you going to
You
do?
know, and
It's
that's
still a continuation of the. Sorry, it's still a
no.
continuation of a Goofy movie. It's still that
I,
the
that's
moving
what I
on
was gonna
period.
say.
I just didn't want my
Yep.
thought to get lost because like I was
No,
there.
no, that's
Sorry about
literally what
that.
I was. No, that's what I was just gonna say. I was like, it's just a continuation of that story and that relationship. And it's just it shows you that the writers really understand like these situations, and it's probably because most of them either were going through it or went through it. So that's what I always loved about the magic of writing for animation, is because
Yeah.
people automatically think that, oh, because these characters are cartoons, they're not real. You don't have to put that much into writing for having personality. Like you have, it shows that these people hold a value to these characters because they know that it touches people who watch these movies. Just like us growing up, we saw ourselves, like you said, in Max, and now we see ourselves in Goofy, but still, like our teenager inside of us still can relate to Max. So we don't point fingers and judge too hard because we were at one place in one time and we're here at this time. And
Mm-hmm.
it's now we understand because some of us might have had rough relationships with our dad, never had that relationship with our dad. So we was like, Max, stop being like that because he could have not been there at all. So it's like you just it's so many things that you can relate to, and I think that's what made it such a beautiful and like wholly hearted good film just for everyone to watch.
I wholeheartedly agree. I truly do. Like I can't say nothing more.
Look, I saw your face. He's like, "Hey man, you just took every last word and comment."
yeah, like I said, I had to get the train of thought before I lost it there. But after that, you just carry the rest of the conversation, man. I ain't got nothing else to say. You took that from me. You wrapped it up in a nice bow, man. Hey, you know what? You got a couple more things to say. I'll sit here and chill out.
Man,
let you
look,
let you
I
rattle
honestly
off.
just got I honestly just got one more question to ask you, and then after that, I'm good.
Oh, I'm
So
there with you. Go ahead.
in 2025, as Demetrius in his 30s, and with the Goofy movie hitting 30, documentary coming out, documentary that came out, all the stuff coming back with Powerline and just all this nostalgia. If they was to say, "Hey, we want to wrap up the story in a trilogy and make one more Goofy movie," but now it's Max who's the parent and Goofy is the granddad, and they all go on like a family trip or somebody's birthday or Powerline is coming out of retirement, something in that manner. I'm just throwing stuff out right now, but the basis of the question is, if it's done right and it's a good story, would you want to see that story wrapped up in one more film, or are you good with just a Goofy movie and an extremely Goofy movie, and then that's it?
Okay. So if done, I'll if say you know me, I'm about the trailers. I see the trailer and the trailer is giving me what I want. I'm in. I'm hooked. I'll be fine. But if it ain't giving what it what I want to see from it, if it's just a straight to not even straight to DVD because those are still good too. But like where
Yeah,
they
like
just
a
throwing it
Disney
out.
Plus.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they just throwing it out and not really putting the thought and stuff like that. Then no, but I'm down to see a trilogy for this thing because I think it could be done right, especially if Max is the dad to his kid and he understands what Goofy went through with him. Like it
full
comes full
circle.
circle.
Yep,
And he understands and he goes to Goofy for that wisdom.
there it
You
is.
know?
There it is.
Yeah,
See,
yeah,
you ain't lose all the
yeah.
juice, D. You ain't lose all the juice. There it is, my brother. I knew it was. I knew that question was gonna pull it out of you.
Well, right
Ah,
now. And then you got my money. I'll
look
tap my
on
card.
the
I'll tap my
table.
debit card. I'll tap my debit card and be like, take it. Just take my money.
The-
Yep, you know that. Yep, that exact meme right there. You can take
yes,
it
bro. Yes.
because I already know the songs on that last movie. If they do a third one, is going to be bangers. The
Hmm.
likes we've the likes we probably have never seen yet. If we got Goofy movie putting out bangers, imagine a 30th anniversary conclusion movie with some kind of Powerline esque or at least in that vein of music
Yeah.
going throughout the whole entire project. Open Road and all these other these tracks just coming back with that 90s twang, a little style on it.
I'm telling you, man, it's very possible. It's a
Mm-hmm.
thing that's not. It's not all that never happened because these days, as much as we like ridicule like the reboots and
Mm-hmm.
sequels and stuff like that, I think in this vein it would be a good one,
Mm-hmm.
just to end off to complete the story for us, give us that clarity to see what happened with these characters like years later and what they're doing, and just with Goofy, because Goofy he deserves it because this is his like his movie, and he's one of the characters that everybody don't really talk about. It's always
No.
like Mickey, Donald, and Minnie, and all of them. So it's good to see the old Goof get his shine. Cause I ain't gonna lie, back in the day, they used to call me Goofy because I was like clumsy or whatever. I was like, I don't care, I like Goofy. So you ain't insulted me.
Hey,
So
compliment.
for me, it's like personal because like he is one of my favorite like Disney like classic characters. So it's cool that it was a movie that they made 30 years ago that is one of my favorites. So I definitely say it's always gonna be in my top five, no matter
Oh,
what.
100%. It
In
will never
rotation,
leave.
when I'm watching Disney like animated movies, and it's from every era, it's gonna always be in my top five.
At
No kind of
least.
order, but it's always in my top five.
At least it never leaves top five. I don't care what movies Disney puts out in the future. It's just
Hmm.
never gonna leave there.
Yeah, it stays there. At the Square Round Table, it has a big place in our hearts.
Mm-hmm.
That's 30 years, a
30
Goofy
years.
movie. It still stand the test of time. Hopefully, it keeps being passed down generations. Whenever we have children, Hope we can share that same experience with them. I got a niece. I watched it with her one time, and that was crazy. So it's definitely always a full circle moment.
Yeah.
If you don't have anything else, D, that's all I got. That pretty much sums up what I had to say.
I can't say it any nicer than you. You wrap that in a nice little bow right there. I'm just gonna final words on Marcus today. And with that being said, it is time for what?
It is time for a shameless promotional. I can't do a goofy. That was my best.
Hey,
goofy,
that's
but
a good goofy. Okay, right here. I believed it. I believed it. I saw it.
In my heart,
Saw the
I
vision.
did it right.
If you love our content, you can follow us on. Geez, I said follow. You can subscribe to our YouTube page and follow all of our content. We have lots and lots of videos. We've been doing this for a long time, and I appreciate anybody who subscribes and who's been following us on our journey. We're on the road to 1,000, and we appreciate anybody who has joined us on this journey or has followed us on this journey. You can follow us on Instagram, never X. Don't if you see us on X, that is an account we don't mess with anymore. So
we
if you see
don't
it
even
there,
know
don't
that it's
follow it.
still there.
It could be there, it could not be. It's what do they call it? Schrodinger's account. We can join us on our Discord. If you like to talk about all things comic, pop culture. If you want to tell us about Goofy Movie, you can tell us in the comment section down below. You know how this movie touched you. Are you really you love the sequel? Would you love to see a trilogy from the series? Is Goofy your favorite of the Disney characters? Let us know and be civil down there. We put it in our top 5, but if you don't agree with it being a top 5, don't come for us. Let us
tell
live
us it's not your top 5. Let's keep it moving.
and keep it moving because
we all family here. Ain't no hard feelings.
It's not like I came at it and said that it was better than Lion King. It's not like I did that or nothing.
It's just my top. It's my top 5.
It's just my top
It's
5.
Our top
you know,
5. Yeah.
It's our top. Yeah, exactly. It's our Square Round Table top 5. We should definitely we should get like one of those little brands top 5 approved or something like that. But right. But with that being said, I'm your host, Dmitri.
And I'm your host. I know it says Marcus Long, but y'all might as well just call me old Mark and Mark now because that's what I've been saying.
All right, Marky Mark. Yes, that's his name. And with that, it's been a Square on Table podcast, and we are out. Deuces.